have you discovered just how, it's quite extraordinary, that God, the omnipotent one, quite extraordinarily, almost always waits to have a human collaborator. For whatever God seems to want to do in our world, if there are hungry people, so far as I can make out, I've not yet seen hamburgers floating down from heaven. That if hungry people have to be fed, the omnipotent one is unable to do this without human collaborators. And one of the fascinating things, looking at salvation history, looking at how God has dealt with God's world, it's quite extraordinary actually to think that God has had as God's favorite collaborators, co-workers. Have you noticed? Young people, a Joseph, a David, a Jeremiah, who complains to God, oh please God, I don't want to be a prophet. I'm too young. And God says something quite extraordinary to him. Hey, Jeremiah, you are not an afterthought, man. Before I formed you in the womb, I knew you, I chose you. Maybe Jeremiah should have asked God, excuse me, God, how could you choose me even when I was not yet conceived? But never mind. God says something quite extraordinary, which is applicable to all of us. You aren't an accident. Some of us might look like accidents, but none of us is an accident. Isn't that fantastic? That God knew there was going to be a you and 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 a you from all eternity. And that God knew that you were the one totally indispensable. Fantastic. So God goes to this village and sends the archangel who comes along and knock. Who's there? Archangel. Archangel who? Gabriel. Hello. Mary. Yes. God wants you to be the mother of God's. What? You know, in this village, you can't scratch yourself without everybody knowing about it. And you want me to be what? An unmarried mother? Sorry. I'm a decent girl, try next door. We would have been in a real pickle. mercifully, of course, Mary says, "Behold, the handmaid of the Lord, be it unto me according to thy word." And the whole universe, the whole of creation breathed a cosmic sigh of relief. And so a Jesus is born. But just note, he dies at 30. Another young person. And we could go on. A Francis of Assisi. And you here are at this university, named for a young man who died at 22, caring for people in a plague, and he succumbed to the plague. Hey, you're fantastic.